Nostalgic television shows you forgot and why they got canceled. Do you remember those classic television shows that used to air when you were a kid? Even if you do, you might have forgotten why they were canceled. It's always a shame when a show that was once so popular gets abruptly canceled, and it's even worse when you can't remember why. In this video, we'll be taking a look at some of the most nostalgic television shows that you forgot about, as well as the reasons behind their cancellations. Arthur. Arthur is a children's educational television show that was created in 1996 and ran for 20 years before being canceled in 2016. The show follows the adventure of an 8-year-old aardvark and his family and friends living in the fictional town of Elwood City. It has since spawned several spin-offs, including DW and Bud's Big Adventure and Postcards from Buster. Throughout its run, Arthur received multiple awards, including 4 Emmy Awards, a Peabody Award, a Television Critics Association Award, and numerous other accolades. It was also one of the longest-running children's programs on public television, and one of the most successful series in its genre. So why did this beloved show get canceled? The answer is complicated. According to executive producer Carol Greenwald, the decision was made because of the changing landscape of television programming. While the show was still popular with viewers, it had become increasingly expensive to produce due to rising production costs and changing tastes among younger audiences. Despite these changes, Arthur remained an incredibly successful and beloved show for many years, and will always be remembered as one of the greats in children's television. Sister Sister. Sister Sister was a sitcom that aired on ABC, the WB, and UPN from 1994 to 1999. It followed the lives of twin sisters Tia Landry and Tamira Campbell, who were separated at birth and later reunited.
Dad? Mom? That girl has my face!
Throughout its run, Sister Sister featured an ensemble cast of characters, including their parents, siblings, and friends. The show was praised for its realism and its ability to tackle real-world issues without being too preachy. It also featured hilarious moments and memorable catchphrases, like
Go home, Roger!
Go home, Roger.
Go home, Roger.
Go home, Roger!
I see where this is headed. Go home, Roger.
It even spawned a spin-off series, Smart Guy. Unfortunately, Sister Sister eventually got canceled due to declining ratings. It had been a mainstay on the WB network for 5 seasons, and then moved to UPN in 1998. Ratings began to drop when the show made the switch, and it eventually became too expensive to produce. Despite its cancellation, Sister Sister still has a cult following, and it's remembered fondly by many fans who grew up with the show. It's often cited as one of the most influential sitcoms of the 90s, and it's even been credited with paving the way for other black sitcoms like Girlfriends and Living Single. Takashis Castle. Takashis Castle was a game show that aired in Japan from 1986 to 1989, then again in 2003. The premise of Takashis Castle involved contestants competing in various physical challenges while trying to capture the titular castle. The show became incredibly popular in Japan, with an audience of over 21 million viewers at its peak. It also gained international popularity, and it was syndicated in several countries. It was particularly successful in the UK, where it aired on Channel 4 from 1999 to 2002. The physical challenges on Takashis Castle were varied and often quite hilarious. They included a variety of tasks, such as running across a tightrope suspended high above a pool of mud, or diving into a pool filled with water balloons. The show also featured a lot of slapstick humor and physical comedy, as contestants often ended up getting knocked down or covered in mud. Unfortunately, despite its popularity, Takashis Castle came to an end when it was canceled by Japanese television network Fuji TV. Many fans are still hoping for a revival of the show, but it remains to be seen if this will ever happen. Hey Arnold! Hey Arnold was an iconic Nickelodeon cartoon series that aired from 1996 to 2004. The show revolved around the 4th grader Arnold and his friends, and the adventures they encountered in the city of Hillwood. Although the show had a great following, it was canceled after its 4th season due to low ratings. Despite its cancellation, Hey Arnold remains a beloved series among many viewers. The show tackled difficult topics such as homelessness, racism, and gentrification. It also featured memorable characters like Helga Bataki, Arnold's neighbor and classmate who has an unrequited love for him, Gerald Johansson, the cool kid on the block, and Grandpa Phil, Arnold's wise and lovable grandfather. The show also spawned 2 movies, Hey Arnold the Movie in 2002 and Hey Arnold the Jungle Movie in 2017. The first movie followed Arnold and his friends as they attempted to save their neighborhood from demolition by a ruthless developer, while the second movie finally revealed what happened to Arnold's parents. Hey Arnold was a unique show that pushed boundaries and offered up meaningful stories and relatable characters. While it might have been canceled after its 4th season, it still stands as a beloved series amongst fans and a reminder of simpler times. The Ren and Stimpy Show. The Ren and Stimpy Show, created by John Kricfalusi, aired on Nickelodeon from 1991 to 1996 and was an instant hit with fans of all ages. This show focused on the bizarre adventures of Ren, a chihuahua, and Stimpy, a cat. It became a pop culture phenomenon due to its absurd humor and surreal animation. Despite its popularity, the Ren and Stimpy Show was also known for being controversial. Several episodes were pulled from the air due to complaints of gross-out jokes and offensive content. Additionally, creator John Kricfalusi's erratic behavior caused him to be fired from the show in 1992. The controversy eventually led to the show's cancellation in 1996. After the show's demise, Ren and Stimpy starred in a few movies and appeared in other projects, but never regained the same level of popularity that it had during its heyday. Today, the Ren and Stimpy Show is fondly remembered by fans as a classic 90s cartoon. It's one of those shows that will always have a special place in people's hearts and continues to entertain generations. Nostalgic television shows from the past can bring a wave of nostalgia and can remind us of our childhoods. Some of the shows mentioned might have been forgotten, while others may still have some sort of cult following. But why were these shows canceled? A lot of times it simply comes down to ratings. If the show isn't getting good ratings, then it's not making enough money for the networks to justify keeping it on air. Whatever the case may be, these canceled shows still hold a special place in our hearts and will always be remembered fondly by many.